This is the book of Job 20 and verse 24. It says, he shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. All praise and honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakaha, Kadash, Edabohana to the elder and apostle of Gittimison who do well. Peace, blessing, and salvation to Joachim who are pushing these truths to the four winds of the heaven. I'll be on the forefront of this spiritual war to make sure Jerusalem is established as a praise here on yes again. So I am in the book of Job 20 and verse 24. See, I will read it again. It says, he shall flee from the iron weapon. Who is that? Who is he? That is Esau, man. And the bow of steel shall strike him through. And what is a bow of steel? The bow of steel is talking about the nuclear missile. And here it is talking about especially the wicked top ruling class of Esau Edom, in which we know through the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, a majority of them will be preserved through WW3. But many of them, these mayors, or these different rulers, these sales, which they rule together, which is a wicked elite of Esau. See, verse 25, it is drawn and come out of the body, yeah, the glittering sword come out of his gall, tear upon him. And what is a glittering sword? Or the glittering spear? You see, what is a glittering sword? Let's see. Let's see what is a glittering sword. See, this is a precept for a glittering sword. This is Deuteronomy 32:41. To say, if I whet my glittering sword and in my hand take hold on judgment, I will render vengeance to my enemy and I will reward them that hate me. So that a glittering sword is talking about them nuclear missiles, man. The book of Habakkuk 3:11 says, the sun and the moon stood still in their habitation, and yet the light of thy arrow they went, and yet the shining of thy glittering spear. And what is the Lord's glittering spear? What is that, man? That is talking about the Lord's army, which has a nuclear missiles. Let's prove that. Let's go to the book of Joel 2. Let's see. The book of Joel 2 and verse 11 it says, and the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai shall utter his voice before his army. What is his army, man? Start with his angels, the nuclear missiles, locust, murder hornet, all of those are Lord's army. Wild beast, the nation of Israel, and the missiles, man. For his camp is very great, for he is strong that executes his word. For the day of the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is great and very terrible, and who can abide it, man? That's why we saw that in that day the Lord will send his glittering sword. So his glittering sword, it was talking about the missiles, man. And you have people who think that the missile is a fairy tale, or they think that the missile were created as a scare tactic by Esau so that he can rule forever. No, man. Those missiles won't be put somewhere in a museum so that your grandchildren can go there and appreciate about your invention. No, those nuclear missiles were made to be used. Every one missile which is here on this earth, it is a possession of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. And when that time comes, he will use it. So let's go. I have a news here, an update about the algorithm for WW3. It say WH official say we are at war with China. US prepare China. US prepare. China could triple a nuclear arsenal. See, China could triple a nuclear arsenal. So there is a specific amount of these nukes, see, which will be created for vengeance, man. See, all of this is through the spirit of Yahweh, man. And there is a specific amount of those nukes in which will be shot here, over there in America, man. 200,000 nuclear missiles, man. So America will be destroyed from coast to coast. You see, from the west coast to the east coast, from 1,000 to the northern. You see, so and one thing I wanted to clarify before we go on, you see, for anybody who is new to this truth, you see, you may be thinking, maybe when you see a certain news about WW3 or tension or an escalation, let's say Venezuela against America, or America against Russia, or NATO against Russia, or over there in Poland you see something going on, you see, or Ukraine, or the South China Sea, case in point. And you'll be thinking, war will break out in Venezuela, or WW3 will break out in Venezuela, or WW3 will break out between NATO and Russia, or WW3 will break out between Ukraine and Russia. That conflict will spark out WW3. Or WW3, when you see this tension between China and America over there in South China Sea, you say this is it. No. There is a chronological order to every prophecy. And if you know something, here in Great Mission, we have a saying which we say, this AC is a stage for the Lord's movie. And in the Lord's movie, the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahshai, he is an ultimate director. You see? And in every movie, you have what we call scenes. You have the scene of the mark of the beast, being an RFID chip, which will happen all over the earth. You see? And you have the scene, the last scene in this movie, the hate or the epic of this movie will be WW3. And you need to understand where will that scene be, where will that scene start, see, and who will be at the forefront to bring about that scene, man. Because the prophecy, it have what you call like a set, like how you buy a set of something, you see. Prophecy as a prophecy is a whole set, and within that set you have a segment. In order for prophecy to unfold, you must have people. There is time, you see. Prophecy needs time, and you have initiator. You have a land, what place will that prophecy take place. That is a chronological order of prophecy. And when we talk about WW3 especially, the one who will be in the forefront to bring about WW3 will be the so-called Jew. Their nationality are Esau Edom. And specifically within the nation of Esau Edom, you have the grandson of Esau known as Amalek, you see, in which Amalek, he is the chief prince of the house of Esau, man. And who was the Amalekite today? The Amalekite today, you have the people in Turkey, you see. The people in Turkey and the people in Israel today, you see. Going back to what we call jihad, when Ishmael was spreading Islam, and you have the crusade, you see. You have them Jews or Amalekites. At that time, they were barbaric. They didn't have any religion. Esau didn't have any religion, especially this Amalekite, man. So a group of Amalekites, you see, they decided to be Islamic, or to follow the Islam religion, and a certain group of Amalekites, they decided to follow what we call Judaism. So you have two groups of Amalekite. You have Amalekite who live in Turkey today, those are Amalekite. And you have Amalekite who live in the land of Israel. And you have the Amalekite who was a puppet master, the wicked elite of the house of Esau. Those are Amalekite, the rostered family at Du Point. Those are Amalekite, man. So when we examine the prophecy of WW3, the one who will be in the forefront to bring about WW3 is Amalek. And Amalek himself won't, in order to have a conflict, you need to have two parties, man. Two parts. Many people say that Amalek will cause WW3. For WW3 to happen, you need another party. You see, it is Amalek and Ishmael. I will prove to you right now. I will prove to you right now, you see. So this is a book of Jeremiah 15:45. It says, therefore here is the counsel of the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, that he has taken against Babylon, and his purpose that he has purposed against the land of the Chaldean. Who was a Chaldean, man? Esau Edom. Surely the least of the flock in this household, the house of Esau, who was they, man? Amalekite, shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. See, that's talking about WW3. The least of the flock are Amalekite, and in order for you to have conflict, you need to have a second part. You see, in order for the Amalekite to bring the rest of the Edomite, especially Babylon, to this WW3, you need to have a second part. You need to have an enemy. Who will be an enemy, man? Who will be an enemy? You see? Who will be an enemy? Let's go to 2nd Ezra, man. 2nd Ezra 15. You see, in the verse, especially 29, it say, where the nation of the dragon of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon the earth, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble. So here you have Amalek on the other side, and you have Ishmael on the other side. You see, as you know, when it comes to the algorithm of WW3, you know, Amalek like to bully Ishmael, man. At the end of the day, Ishmael will be fed up, man, and he will come out to fight a war. So what will happen is Amalek as Amalek, all them Gatalat over there in the land of Israel. Amalek as Amalek, he won't be able to withstand Ishmael on his own. So his allies, in which, as this other Edomite country, they will come to the rescue of Amalek. That's why the least of the flock, they will draw them out. They will draw who? The rest of the Edomite. In order for the least of the flock to draw the rest of the Edomite into this conflict, you need to have the second part. The second part will be Ishmael. See? So it is not enough to say Amalek will cause WW3. Sure, Amalek will cause WW3, but you need to have a second part in order for you to go to war. And what is the second part? The second part will be Ishmael. So the coming war, man, going back to my point, is that you may see a conflict on the South China Sea, you may see conflict on Ukraine, you may see conflict on Turkey, man, you may see conflict on Venezuela. But what is the main place for you to be focused, man? You need to focus on the Middle East, man, the Valley of Yehoshaphat, man. And in the Valley of Yehoshaphat, there is two major players. in this last scene, man, in this movie, who are the two major players, man? Amalek and Ishmael, man. Amalek and Ishmael, they will draw the whole world, man, into WW3 or the Third War. You see, Ishmael will draw Russia and China, and Amalek will draw Babylon, man. You see? So what you see won't happen in South China Sea, you know. I always do video about the algorithm of WW3. I may be talking about the South China Sea and explain it. One of my listeners may think that WW3 will happen in the South China Sea. I wanted to clarify that before we dive into this lesson, man. You may have somebody waiting for what to break out on the South China Sea. No, no. You see, that's why I told you, in order for you to have a certain prophecy taking place, you need to have component, a certain prophecy. Let's say what you see is a whole set, and inside that set you have a subset. You have land where that prophecy will be happening. You have people who will be involved. It is Amalek and Ishmael, which will draw the other nation. You have a period of time in which, in that video, you will see, I will break certain things down in that news, which we will watch shortly. I will break for you certain things. Before we go there, let's go to, let me see if I can open it. Even Albert Pike, he spoke about that. Albert Pike, two major players in this Third War. It is Ishmael and Amalek. They will draw the rest of the nation, man, into this WW3. See, WW3, Albert Pike. Albert, yeah, Salake. I typed in Albert Einstein. It's all good. See, it's all good. Albert Pike, you see, and inside the joke, people, they like to say that always Albert. People with the name Albert, they're always genius. See, they have that brain. So let's see. Albert Pike and his three world wars. Let me bring to you so that I can clarify that point further. That this war will start over there in the Middle East. So don't get carried with every wind. If you see conflict between America and North Korea, you get killed. This is it, man. There is nothing wrong by saying this is it. That's why we do the algorithm for WW3 every day. But you needed to have the collective vision, man. You see, you needed to have a collective vision. So this is from Albert Pike. This is Safe News, safenetforum.org. I'll be reading. It says the third war must be fomented by taking advantage of the difference caused by the agentry of the Illuminati between the political Zion and the leader of the Islamic world. So, on one hand, the list of the flock, which is this Zionist or this Amalekite, you see, they will draw a Babylon or America into this war, or they will draw Esau into this war. On the other hand, you have Ishmael. He will draw the other part into this war, because Amalek won't start a war by himself. You need the second part. So if you say that the list of the flock will draw Babylon into this war, or they draw Esau into this war, which is the list of the flock or Amalekite, that is not enough. In order for you to go to war, you need to have the second part. So the second part is Ishmael. The same thing which will happen with Amalek to draw the other Edomite into this war, the same thing will happen with Ishmael. He will draw the other part into this war. So you will have two parties clashing. Let's continue. You see, the war must be conducted in such a way that Islam and political Zionism mutually destroy each other. That's why Esau, he created the nation of Israel as a buffering country over there in the Middle East. Really, this is the wicked elite. They don't care about this less Amalekite, this less Amalekite who live over there in the Middle East. They are just there to act as a buffering state, so that Esau can have a foothold on the Middle East, man, to create what we call the great whole Israel. You see, for you to be able to understand what is going on, you needed to examine Esau. You needed to be a little bit studious, man. We always talk about the new world order, and the microchip, but beyond the microchip, Esau have another plan, and that plan is WW3. Esau, all the Illuminati, all this wicked elite, they want, after microchipping a certain a certain amount of people in this world, they will bring what we call WW3, which is that will be an ultimate weapon for the population. Because if you bring a virus can't kill 3 billion people at once, you see, because the way Yahweh Hashem Yahshai created his creation, we have an immunity which can fight the disease. As a result, you have something we call herd immunity. See? So what is the best way to kill everybody here on the planet? Yes, it is war. And that war will be WW3. So, if you read the blueprint about the new world order, is after WW3 is Esau, he will come out of his bunker to be the new savior, man, with his AI technology. And because Esau, he is hiding his military installation in the bunkers, his AI technology, he will come as a savior, man. That's where you will have a full operation of the Project Bluebeam, a false messiah, in which, according to the scripture, Esau won't reach even to that stage. You see, the second stage to the last stage, which is the mark of the beast, it will be the end of Esau, man. You see, and the WW3, Esau really think he is in control of the coming conflict, but it will get out of hand. That's why we started with the missiles as the army of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Esau thinks that he is in control of everything, man. He's an ultimate chess player. But what he don't know is the Lord is an ultimate chess player. So what will happen is Esau will be destroyed during WW3. I wanted to prove my point that you have two parties, a list of the flock and the Ishmael. And in order for you to complete this understanding, you need to read 2nd Ezra. See? So, going back to my video right here, let me pray it for you.
Welcome back again, everyone. It's Dina Calmetta here. And just as an FYI, there will not be a Good News Monday today, but we will resume next Monday. However, I do have some headlines I'd like to share with you. Apparently, Peter Navarro has stated that the U.S. is currently at war with China. He said,
So you see, the U.S. have declared war with China, but that's why I started with explaining to you. If you see news like this, you see that the U.S. have declared war with China, you think that the U.S. will go to war with China. No. WW3 will start between Ishmael and Amalek, man. So the thing with the U.S. and China, which is going on, and the U.S. declaring war against China, this fall into the rumors of war, you see. Rumors of war don't necessarily have to be war. And this also is geopolitics, man. This thing with the US wanted to cripple China, man. They want to cripple China economy, you see. That's the whole thing which is going on with China and America. And the other thing is the Chinese, they know if they go to war with the US, they won't win that war. See? For this other nation to win a war with America, they need to come together, man. And the NATO needed to go against America. You see? Because NATO act as a buffering, man. And even Russia knows that America together with NATO, if they go to war, Russia will lose. You see, America with NATO and Russia. That's why the Lord. You see, let's continue. Salake. See, let's continue. That's why the Lord. You see, He have to turn NATO against America. So let's continue.
We are at war. Make no mistake about that. The Chinese unleashed a virus on the world. As a guest on Fox and Friends, he also stated that China will owe the U.S. some form.
Another point is there is a reason why America is called the ham of the earth, man. Yes. And in order for America to lose WW3, this other nation needed to come together. Even NATO needed to betray America. You see? This is Revelation 17, verse 16. And the ten horn which doth always up the beast, this shall hate the whore, and it shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. And what is the ten horn, man? That is talking about NATO and the EU. You see? That's the only reason is the ham of the earth will be broken asunder, man. You see? And China knows that. China knows that they want to win a war with America, man. They are too feeble for America. You see? The Lord made America great for His own glory. So that when America falls, man, the Lord will have all the glory, man. See? That's why when you are prophesying on the highway and byway and they tell people America will be defeated in the WW3, they can't comprehend that. They can't believe that. Because in common sense, America, nobody can fuck with America, man. No country can fuck with America. Even China come together with Russia, they can't defeat America. That's why the Lord have to put a spirit on NATO to be on Russia's side. That's where America will be brought down. You see? That's why let's go to the book of Obadiah, man. The book of Obadiah, that's a bad book, man. That's a bad book for Esau, man. The book of Obadiah 1:7 say, all the men of the confederates have brought thee even to the border. See, who are the men of the confederates of America or Babylon? NATO. Here now you have America very confident because they know NATO is on your side. But when things go south, NATO go on the other side, or NATO be on China and the Russian side, that's where Esau will be in straight. You see? That's where Esau will be in straight. And that's where even the elite of the wicked Esau, the top elite, they will be in straight. That's where they will start realizing that their new world order won't come into fruition. Because they have laid the new world order in open. You can find it on the internet. After microchipping everybody, they want to reduce the population of this earth to 500 million. How will they do that? They want to kill 7.5 billion people. How will they do that? The best way to do that is through nuclear war, man. But when NATO shift to Russia side and China, and they nuke America very seriously, that's when you see terror shall compass this wicked elite. And they will know that they are not in control. You see? The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee. What is that? Is that NATO mainly? And they prevailed against thee, that they eat thy bread, you see. Europe have profited over this war. Even China have profited over America. See? Have laid a wound under thee, there is none understanding in him. So you need to understand something, you see. You are seeing these rumors of war between America and China. America have declared a war against China, and you think that what you see, this is it. No, man, what you see really happened over there in the valley of Yehoshaphat. We read that. And they have told the main player, people, which nation will be in the forefront. It is Ishmael and the Amalek. The list of the flock and the Amalek. The list of the flock will draw America into this war, and Ishmael will draw Russia and China. And at the end of the day, not to have to pick a side. And through the spirit of Yahweh Hashem, we know that side will be the side of China
due to the damage
and
following
Ishmael.
the pandemic. In the meantime, it is also being reported that the West could witness an armed conflict with China within the next 5 years, according to a leading expert on the country. Last week, a leaked report presented by China's Ministry of State Security to the Chinese president revealed that global anti-China sentiment is now at its highest since 1989. Senior Chinese sources say that the president is preparing for a worst-case scenario of armed confrontation with the U.S. The obvious flashpoints are Taiwan and South China Sea. The expert stated that conflict over Taiwan is the most immediate possibility, and this has been exacerbated by the COVID crisis.
See? And the people see that the conflict between China and Taiwan, they see this is what was saying. No, man. We have the blueprint for
So far, most countries have been playing along to China's demands, but it's possible that mounting evidence of China's non-good citizen status will encourage more to recognize Taiwan as its own country within the next 5 years. And this would lead to a military escalation by China and a reaction by the U.S., Japan, and diplomatically, at least, the UK and other allies. And the South China Sea remains another powder keg. If reports of plans to impose an ADIZ are correct, it would exacerbate global tensions because 5.5 trillion worth of trade transits through the South China Sea every year. When China's bluff was quelled following a similar move in the East China Sea, it did not respond militarily. But the rules are changing. China borders 17 countries, and we have a set of players with different views of acceptable risk behavior. India and China are 2 legs of a 3-legged stool, and the problem is that the third leg is Pakistan. Its supports for terror groups, its ever closer ties to China, and growing U.S.-Indian dialogue are all factors. China has sent soldiers into India before. It's only down to good luck and Indian forbearance that no one has shot anyone yet. And if this does happen, the U.S. could find itself drawn into a military conflict. Another real scenario would have occurred if Kim Jong-un had actually died, and China interfered with North Korea. While the Chinese president isn't likely to use military force as a first option now, except over Taiwan, will this be true 5 years from now? If China creates an ADIZ in the South China Sea and can't enforce it, the Chinese president loses internally, and that's significant. Until now, everyone played by the rules, but the post-COVID-19 world will see China questioning the value of a rulebook forced upon it by previous generations when it stops working for them. And Timothy Heath, a security expert from the Rand Corporation think tank in the United States, said that the increase in American military activity in the South China Sea was partly due to the failure of diplomatic efforts to resolve conflicts between Beijing and Washington, stating that China has asserted its ownership of an international water space that is critical to global commerce and to U.S. security as well. To back up its claims, China stepped up artificial island building activities in the South China Sea, ramped up its military patrols and deployments, and coerced its neighbors into compliance with Beijing's claims. This is leaving the U.S. with no option but to step up its military activities in the South China Sea to send the clear message that Washington is serious.
You see, WW3 won't start in the South China Sea. WW3 will start by Amalek and Ishmael, 2 major players who will bring about WW3, and they will draw everybody into this war. If you say only Amalek will cause WW3, will Amalek be fighting against himself? You need to have the second part, man. So, if for you brothers, if you prophesize about the list of the flock, you need to talk about the other part, which is Ishmael, man. You can't just talk about Amalek. Amalek is not doing what he is doing by himself, man. he is doing what he is doing to Ishmael, to put it simple. So Ishmael at the end of the day will be tired and will respond, because Ishmael is, you see, the Ishmaelites are many, man. You see, and the scripture tells you they will come like the dragon, you see. And what is the nature of the dragon? Cruelty. So America, we will not have a choice but to help Amalek. That's where China will be drawn in, Russia will be drawn in to their respective sides, man. Those who will stand on the side of Ishmael, you know them, and those who will stand on the side of Amalek. That's the blueprint of WW3. Don't listen to these people. Don't get swayed to every wind that WW3 will start on the Baltic Sea, WW3 will start on Ukraine, WW3 will start in Turkey. Although Turkey, so those are Amalekites, you won't know. The scripture only told you the list of the flock. It could be the Gatalat over there in the land of Israel or Turkey, man. You see? But the WW3 won't start with North Korea shooting missiles on the sea of Japan. You know, man.
Serious about maintaining the international status of the South
man.
China Sea and the waters in the first island chain, and signal its willingness to uphold its alliance commitments. Heath said that while the U.S. did not anticipate military conflict with China in the near term, it was preparing for the future. And with that said, the editor of the state-run Global Times has stated that China should drastically increase its stockpile of nuclear warheads to dissuade the United States from pursuing its strategic ambitions.
You see, so we are in the so-called arms race right now. You see, and the dream I had a dream this nation are making nuclear weapon. They don't even sleep. So calculate for yourself how many nukes are here on yes, and don't listen to Issa. He tell you only China have only 700 nukes. No, man. Russia have only 100 nukes. No. Russia started to produce a nuke after WW3, and you mean to tell me they only have 100 nukes? Get the hell out of here, man. See? And the scripture tells you America will be destroyed with 200,000 nuclear missiles. You see? So this other nation needed to have more than 200,000 nuclear missiles, man. Because war will start in the Middle East, right there, as a region war. At the end of the day, this nation will nuke America at the peak of WW3. WW3 won't just start in the second day America got nuked. No. At the peak of WW3, we don't know this region war. We all know America will be destroyed within 1 hour. See? But WW3 won't be fought within 1 hour, because WW3 will start as a region war. It will start over there in the Middle East. You see, we don't know how long until America getting nuked in that 1 hour. So don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. You think that because some people are simple and say that this person don't believe America will be nuked in 1 hour. What I am telling you is WW3 will start as a region war. It will start over there in the Middle East between Ishmael and Amalek. This other nation will join. They will start fighting over there, going back to Joel 2020. Joel 2020. Let me pull that. Joel 2020. Joel 2:20. See. Joel 2:20. See. It says, "But I will remove far off from you the northern army, and I will drive him into the land barren and desolate." What land is that? The Middle East. You see. What they will be doing there? With his face towards the East Sea, and his hinder part towards the uttermost sea, and his stink shall come up, and his ill savor shall come up, because he has done great thing. Yeah. What stink? Because this region war will be going on. See, over there in the Middle East, between America, Amalek, Ishmael, China, and Russia. and the NATO. You see, so Amalek, the land of Israel, will be blown off, because we know only two land here on earth will be blown completely during WW3. It is America, the landmass of America, and the landmass of Israel, the whole land. See, America won't be inhabited, but the whole land will be inhabited again. So after Israel get blown over there, America they will be losing that war. You see, because the dynamic will be changing. See, NATO will be on the side of Ishmael. See, after that, America will be blown within that 1 hour. So, in this region war between Ishmael and Amalek, Ishmael being backed with America, and Amalek being backed with America, and Ishmael being backed with Russia and China, we don't know how long this war will take place, man. But it will be short, because it will be nuclear. After that, America then will be blown within that 1 hour. People think that WW3 will take only 1 hour. No, man. It will be a process or phase. It will take place in phase. If I get time, I will do that lesson to clarify. It will be in phase. The first phase it will happen over there in the Middle East. It will be a region war. On the height of that region war, this nation will nuke America off the map.
Abroad, the editor said that China is a peace-loving nation that has pledged to never be the first to use nuclear weapons. But he argued, however, that Beijing must aim to expand the number of its nuclear warheads to 1,000 to create a powerful deterrent to shape the attitudes of U.S. elites towards China. China currently has around 300 nuclear weapons, but he also said that bolstering China's nuclear capabilities would keep an increasingly irrational United States at arm's length. The Global Times editor emphasized that he would prefer a peaceful coexistence between China and the U.S., but also observed that Washington only believes in strength, and China cannot beg to be treated as an equal on the world stage. So it certainly sounds like the United States and China are both preparing for a future conflict. But could we see this within the next 5 years? It is certainly possible. But could we see this within the next 5 years? It is certainly possible.
You see, back in the day, when we are prophesying about WW3, you have this news. They were saying maybe WW3 will happen within 20 years. They changed that. They said within 10 years. And now they are changing it. They are saying within 5 years. Expect them to change within months, man. Within months, in 6 months. At the end of this year, maybe they'll tell you we are expecting to have a WW3 breakout in the Middle East within 6 months or within 3 months. You see, it's all in the plan of Yahweh Hashem Yahshai, man. And people thought that WW3 could take place within 100 years to come. No, man. As a prophet out of them.
And it's also possible that it could happen even before that, if tensions do not simmer down. And speaking of tensions, the Russian Air Forces have tested a new hypersonic missile created for a modified version of their Tu-22M-3M aircraft. According to a source in the military-industrial complex, the missile will be part of an armament range of the upgraded aircraft, along with a number of other aviation weapons. The source revealed that the new missile is not part of the X-32 line, but did not elaborate on characteristics of the new weapon. The Tu-22M-3M is a modification of the previous Tu-22M-3 supersonic bomber, but with increased combat potential. The source revealed that the new aircraft was equipped with new navigational and communication equipment, sights, engine controls, fuel mechanisms, and electronic warfare. So nothing really new there with Russia. They're always testing weapons. But we need to really keep an eye on them as well. They're always testing weapons. But we need to really keep an eye on them as well.
So let's go and finish this up, man. Let's jump to WW3. WW3 and verse 2. It says, I will also gather our nation, and I will bring them down to the valley of Yehoshaphat. I have explained that how this nation will be gathered, man. Through Ishmael and Amalek, man. The list of the flock, if you will, and the Ishmael. and they will produce them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nation and departed my land. See, that is clear as day, man. And let's go to the a number of Nuke, man. As I spoke, those 200,000 men, so those nukes will be only for America. And you have nuke which will be shot on China, you see, nuke which will be shot on some part of Europe, nuke which will be shot on the land of Israel, because the land of Israel will be blown off the map, you see. So you will have nukes more than 200,000 nuke. You will have a lot of nuke at the time WW3 will be going on. So for the sake of edification, let's go and see. You see, for the sake of edification, you see. Let's go to Revelation 9 and verse 13. It says, and the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000. I hear the number of them. See. So this was going to mainly see America. See. See, this was going to mainly America, see. But you will have more than that number, nuke more than that number, see. See. See, so this is this. I hope you brothers were edified. I give all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahushai Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. On to the next. Shalom.